So I actually started in book publishing, and when I got into public relations and earned media and all that, doing book launches for authors, shortly after that, I actually saw right before my eyes what happened when a patient who took a little bit of a tincture saw his tremors subside from not being able to speak, not being able to open a door by himself, to almost in a matter of 120 seconds, be able to regain full control of his body. And what really got me was the first words to come out of his mouth. He looks up at the hemp store owner and he just goes, "I need the biggest bottle of whatever shit it was you just gave me." And at that moment I was like, okay, I love doing PR, I love this book publishing stuff, but I really want to jump into cannabis and get more information out to everybody who needs it as to what this plant could actually do for people who desperately need access to it.
What was the process like for jumping into cannabis PR?
Yeah, so it was definitely a learning experience. I came to MJBizCon before I officially started Green Lane Communication and got into the industry as a PR practitioner. I learned that marketing and advertising are very tricky, and there's a little bit of a tightrope that you have to walk around. And one thing that a lot of folks, a lot of CMOs, marketing directors, that they all communicated very clearly is that it's difficult to get your brand awareness out there, build trust, establish credibility, especially through a lot of paid channels. But what I quickly realized was that you can go to an editor, a journalist, a reporter, and you can act as a source of information. You can contribute an op-ed, and you can do a lot of earned media to amplify brand awareness, build trust, credibility, act as a resource for a lot of these publications that are trying to get to the truth and trying to get more data and more science out there. And so being able to fill that void and kind of help connect those dots between the people that have the information and the people that are looking for it, that was a very clear sign for me that, okay, there's a big opportunity here and there's a big need that needs to be fulfilled. And so from that point on, I just jumped in, and here we are today.
The cannabis industry is still going through a pretty fragmented legal landscape. Is that tricky for you to navigate in your role as a PR specialist?
Yeah, so it is tricky, but at the same time, it also makes it very interesting and very exciting, because a lot of, especially mainstream outlets, the journalists, the reporters, the editorial teams over there, they're very interested in having a better understanding of what exactly the cannabis industry and community are, what their goals are, where this whole industry and space is heading. And so being able to make a lot of what's happening in our world easy to understand and digest for somebody who maybe is a little bit less fluent in cannabis is really the sweet spot, and where a lot of our success lies in being able to help connect the dots between our clients and the folks that are trying to cover the space and learn more about it and get more information about it so they can then distribute that over to their channels and outlets.
What would you say is the biggest priority you're hearing from your clients, like in terms of what you can do for them?
Yeah, so that's a great question. It varies. Certain clients, they are ready to raise capital, they've laid the groundwork, and they need help building that trust and credibility to get the buy-in from the sources, with whether it be capital, debt, you name it. So a lot of times those folks come to us in needing support there. Other times they're doing great, but they really have an unbelievable story, whether it's a founder-led story, maybe they have some incredible data that they came across throughout different research that they've done on their own, and they just want to get that information out to the masses. A lot of times they'll come to us and say, hey, we have XYZ and we need your help getting it out there. And that, for me, as a PR person who's been in PR for over a decade now, that immediately is a green flag, because they understand how earned media works. They understand the power of connecting with the right editors, reporters, and journalists that are connecting to the audiences that they too want to communicate to and get that information out to.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.